If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC25, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC 25 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Okay guys, so we just finished doing the video for the pitch vision. Now, big variable with that one is obviously the weak foot improvement for certain cards, right? Like with Rashford, he gets that weak foot improvement, which is very nice. But it's also that incisive pass plus. So you have to always consider this, because sometimes with certain evolutions, if they don't get the playstyle plus, it's kind of pointless to go down that route, because you can't really give them more than one playstyle plus nowadays, right? Now, a little bit different with the precision shooter one. If you don't get the base playstyle, it's not as big of a deal. Should you give it to players that don't have the base playstyle? Sure, because the main thing here is the shooting boosts with the regular finesse shot. So one of the cards that's trending right now is the Leão card, right? Because at the end of the day, even though, you know, this card already has the regular finesse shot, one of Leão's biggest issues in this game from the rare gold card, right? Apparently to people, because I haven't really used this card that much this year at all, even though I have him on the review account. We'll use them at some points when we do the Serie A reviews, right? But this card's finishing was very low, right, for base card stats. Like, it was one of the things that people noticed the most with him. So with the shooting boosts, right, you can go in the route of giving him a finisher chemistry style, and you're more in a comfortable situation with the card, where his finishing is now at a 99 with a 91 for shot power, and it adds a lot to the card, right? With the dribbling being improved, with a card that is 5-star, 4-star, it's all great. He did already have the finesse shot before, so that's where it's like, you know, maybe I could go in a different route for the evolution for a card that does not have the playstyle, right? Anybody that plays in the striker area, side positions, it would benefit them a lot. But the stat increase is a big deal for a card like this, right? Just for guys, you want to try to get as close to 99 as possible, you know, because yes, you got to green time your strikes, but the white times, you still want them to be able to hit the ball nicely as much as possible, right? So yeah, you know, Leão is a nice choice. He has some other evolutions too. If you take a look at the evolutions that he has, you can put him into pitch vision, you can put him into precision shooter. So we'll look into each individual one, because he even gets that speed burst one, and we're gonna see what that one's about too. But yeah, obviously looks like a nice choice, because the shooting boost at the end of the day would still be very relevant for a card like that. Saint-Max would be another very huge, massive example of someone that would benefit off of the shooting boost. Does this one get one? Yeah, this is a big card getting it. Let me see if his regular one had it. Yeah, that's a really big one. It's funny because, like, the inform card, he went up in value for people that could just like go ahead and buy it and then just use them in the team, whatever, right? But for people that ended up doing the Europa League version, it's a big deal, man. You know, giving him that precision shooter for a card like this makes the most sense. Has the finesse shot now, left-sided player that you just give a hunter to now, or you gave a hunter to him before, but that shooting boost is a really, really big deal. This is the whole point with SBCs when they come out, right? Like, initially it's like, oh, you know, they have really low shooting, but then boom, they release something like this where it's like, hey, here's this playstyle the card never had before. Here's this shooting boost the card never had before. Now he's a little bit more usable, right? So with Saint-Max, you get a huge pace boost, you get a huge shooting boost, and it makes the card way more usable, right? In the sided position, he still has inside forward plus plus as well. So really big deal there. I'm looking at that more than I'm looking at the inform, to be honest. But the inform, it makes sense in the sense of all of the specific boosts you can give him from like the chain evolution in particular, right? Because the chain evolution gives him those boosts as well. But from what I'm looking at, man, I guess it's like mainly if you're looking at like from specific playstyles perspective, right? That perspective as well would definitely be a big one, because he gets the passing one. Speed burst, I need to see what does the speed burst even give? Rapid? A regular rapid. Okay, a regular rapid is still pretty good though. And we'll take a look at that one afterwards for the speed burst. But yeah, the precision shooter, it adds a lot to the card. Again, another situation where, you know, you just give him a hunter chemistry style and the card looks fantastic, right? French player, there's not that many French players on the left hand side, in general, right? Like, honestly, like, just doing this Europa League card would have been beneficial just because there's not that many French players on the left-hand side. Not even joking, right? It's actually really crazy. But, yeah, really big deal there for Saint-Max. Looks like a nice card. A bigger deal that you could do it for the SBC in case you don't want to go down the route of the Inform as well. Can I please just go to Precision Shooter? Holy, man, how many times do I got to go back here? Yeah, so he makes a lot of sense. Dembélé is going to be another very, very good example of this too. Because mainly with Dembélé, it's like, okay, if I don't decide to use him as a cam, a lot of the times I have to use him on the right-hand side. Like, I have him on the review accounts just in case I have to, you know, get the French links in the team because of Sissoko and stuff, right? But again, another very similar situation where it's like, take a look at that stat increase in the shooting department. Because the card is actually really well formatted for that finisher. He's like, you know, the dribbling boost, the shooting boost, use him on the right-hand side, and even has the inside forward to work with, right? So let's see if he actually has finesse shots. There you go, right? So he doesn't have finesse shots, right? Finesse shot is now added to him, and he's a left-footed player on the left-hand side that gets a 5-star capability. So for me, this would be another one that would make a lot of sense for sure. Another very good improvement in my opinion. Camavinga probably has a lot of chains, so this one's from central pillar into precision shooter. So again, nothing here that gives a playstyle plus. You can give him a finesse shot, which I guess could be helpful depending on how you end up using him in game, because technically speaking, if you use him on a shadow and he's actually used as a center mid whose playstyle is to play as a box-to-box, I believe, from the central, yes, from the central pillar, it's the box-to-box. The card still looks pretty decent, right? And what's interesting with him is that, you know, 4-star capabilities compared to, you know, before from the rare gold card only being a 3-star, 4-star. So it's like, okay, if I get into a situation where, you know, I'm inside the 18-yard box and it kind of makes sense for me to hit a finesse shot, I could still technically go for it with a card like this. Even though his finishing is on the lower side, the key thing here is left-footed on the left-hand side. So if I'm playing him as a center mid or a CDM, I can still play him in those positions and play those positions pretty well, right? Still has some defensive capabilities. So again, a nice chain evolution here. The shooting boost, it's still a welcome one because of the box-to-box, right? Like, what if I want to use him as a box-to-box? I want him to commit forward, come back, but still offer me a defensive presence because he's a 6-foot tall player, offers physical in game. Could be something to look into as well, right? So I'm not really against that one either. Llorente, again, finesse shot being added. This is like the chain evolution from the central pillar. So again, you get that box-to-box with that massive shooting boost, which is very nice because on a shadow chemistry style, you have significantly better shooting to work with for a card that gets a good pace boost, a good defensive boost, and he's a player that can play on a box-to-box role. And then, you know, on top of all that, even if you wanted to use him as a right back that could potentially just push forward on the attack, you could totally do that too, right? And he would still perform very well in my opinion. Like, honestly, even though his dribbling is not in the highest area, I think that this card as a box-to-box would still perform well. Do I still prefer to use someone that's a little bit more agile, you know, for like those like first touches against the space, like an Alexia Putellas and stuff? Sure, right? But I still think Llorente, if it comes down to like him making those specific runs inside the 18-yard box, just outside to defend in certain situations as well, I think there's a lot of potential to work with for a card like this, whether you decide to use him as a center mid or even a right back, because in a right back position with the rolls and stuff, they could end up providing something really nice there too, right? Chiesa getting one. I'm not against the Chiesa one because with him, power shot plus, precision shooter. I think you already had it though. Yeah. Because I remember Chiesa specifically having both of the playstyles regular, right? So with this one, you would mainly be looking at a +3 for the shooting boost. Not necessarily like playstyles wise, right? Because finesse shot he already has. The shooting boost on the card, it's not really that significant either, right? I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense to go down that route. Nico Williams. So Nico Williams, we were taking a look at him on the card before because of the specific boost that he gets when it comes to passing and shooting. With Nico Williams, I would say it would make sense. He already has finesse shots, right? But it's a plus 10 for shooting, and that's a pretty big deal. So even if you don't get a regular finesse, or you do because you already have it, right? The improvement is still very nice. Like, you can't really go wrong with it. The thing is, though, is that with a card like this, it's like, okay, you give him a finisher, and now you're making his finishing like essentially perfect with a really good dribbling boost, or not dribbling boost, excuse me, but with a dribbling boost on a finisher, right? But it's the fact that he's a 5-star weak foot on that left side with the inside forward plus. Everything's kind of just like bouncing off each other nicely, you know? Even the inside forward on the right hand side, like if I have to go for like a 5-star weak foot finesse on the right hand side, like it would still be a big deal. Yes, he already has the playstyle, but you would benefit off of a card like this getting a massive shooting boost. But again, you never know what EA does in the future when it comes to evolutions. Maybe they drop one that gives you like a crazy shooting boost. It would all depend, right? It would all depend. Diaby gets one as well. Diaby has like different versions. This one is a 3-star, 4-star. I'm not like completely against this because before he does not have finesse. This one would add the finesse. And to be honest, like on a marksman, he looks pretty good, right? Base card stats for pace is in a very solid area. This other one, there's like another Diaby that's trending here. It's this one here. Yeah, so these ones still don't give the weak foot improvement. There was one that was like a chain evolution from Diaby. I think it was with the incisive pass one, where it's like it gives him a 4-star, 4-star, which I think is a really big deal. But again, it just depends on what you want in the card, because with Diaby, whether it's this version of his card or whether it's the inform version of his card, right? Giving him that finesse shot, it adds to the card because he has a 3-star weak foot, which can be annoying to work with if you are using him specifically on the right-hand side, right? Because this is a card that has the inside forward. He's going to cut inside. So if he's going to cut inside, it'd be nice to have that weak foot, right? So like I said, there was like a chain evolution we saw in the previous video where he gets the precision shooting with the finesse shot, I think, and then he also gets like the weak foot improvement. So that would be a big one, but I think that you waste the playstyle plus because he already has one. So always those variables to consider as well, right? Yeah, Camavinga we already saw, you know, could be different versions of him. There's like this one over here. So again, there's chain evolutions that exist, but it just depends on which area you kind of want to go into, right? But yeah, Lemar gets one as well. Lemar's card from the regular does not have finesse. He has 82 shooting. His shooting is boosted to an 86 in comparison to a +4 difference. Is a +4 difference a nice thing to get? I would say yes. And the reason being for this is because honestly, like even if I decide to use this card as a right center mid, being able to shoot across goal as long as I'm greening it is nice. But it's also the fact that like if I get into a situation where it's like I have to cut inside and finesse, like even if it's on the left hand side with his right foot or the right hand side with his left foot, depending on how you want to use him, it's a well formatted card, right? Because he gets that finesse shot, it adds a lot to the card. Because it's like, you know, let's say for instance I want to use him as like a left center mid, right? And I have that Trivela to work with. By the way, I didn't review this card because I was busy that day, right? But because he actually looked like a card worth reviewing. And I'm using it right now actually for a 4-1-2 and 2, and he's been great. But Trivela on the card with the left foot, left hand side, big deal. Finesse shot to get on the inside for a finesse shot on a box to box, also a big deal too. So he looks cool. He definitely looks like a really cool upgrade. Rodrigo gets one from the rare gold version, has a finesse shot already. This one would mainly be for the shooting boost. I don't know if I'd care too much about this one, especially with this card existing and some people probably going down this route for like the swaps and stuff, right? But yeah, Rafinha gets one. This is from the inform version. So from the inform version, playstyles wise, already has finesse again. You would be mainly looking at a shooting boost on this card. Could you go down this route? Yes, but I'm sure there's gonna be better evolutions in the future. And Dembélé, I mean, this one is trending obviously, but I don't know if people will go down this route, to be honest. The shooting boost is definitely very nice though, because if I use them as a center mid, the usability increases quite a bit, to be honest with you, right? Center mid playmaker as well. It's not to say that this card is horrible by any means. Like, he still looks pretty decent. I would definitely use him as like a right center mid if I were going to do all that, but he looks interesting for sure. Gabriel Martinelli, mainly left-sided player that has a right-sided role too. From the inform version, has a regular finesse, but you can get a +5 for the shooting if you go down that route. You could do that. You definitely could. Brahim gets a chain evo from the Team of the Week Surge for the passing, precision shooter. This is a nice improvement, I would say. You really can't go wrong with this one, especially if at some point in the future they provide some sort of like dribbling boost, because this card has the finesse shot, excuse me. I mean, he did have the finesse shot on the previous cards, right? But this card is someone who has a 5-star weak foot, right? Playstyles wise, he has the regular finesse, but I think he had that too. He didn't. I'm surprised he doesn't have a regular finesse. So that being added is actually a W from Team of the Week Surge into this, with the passing increase as well as a shooting increase. Not against this one. Cammy has Playmaker as well. Good passing on a Hunter. The dribbling is lower in certain areas, but I would still look like a nice card. Yeah, not too bad there. Not too bad there. Keen shooting boosts. 84 to an 86. I mean, he already has the stuffs, right? So that's, I wouldn't really go down this route. Rashford gets one. Does Rashford have finesse from previous? Pitch vision. Ah, okay. So you can waste a pitch vision on him, because pitch vision is the one that gives incisive, for like the passing boost, which would be a big boost because he has a 77 from before. And then you can give him this one that gives him the +3 for shooting. I mean, it would still be a good card in game if you're not really looking into the playstyles as much, you know? It'd still be pretty nice. Precision shooter from Adeyemi. Intro to stat limits pitch vision, precision shooter. So again, you're not really giving the playstyle plus for the pitch vision, but what you are giving is the big stat improvement, right? Because that 75 passing could be pretty horrible in game. So a passing boost there, you can't really go wrong with that. And then the shooting boost from an 80 to an 86 would also be a big deal, because the card on a finisher looks pretty good, right? Left mid position with the inside forward plus, left footed, 4-star, 4-star. You know, for the people that are building a Bundesliga team, it definitely looks pretty good for sure. Dunn gets one from the American female players. Jones from Middlesbrough. You can go with Cristiano Ronaldo. Tudam gets one as well. Does he have it from before? Pitch Predator. Power Shot Plus. Oh, this one's interesting. So precision shooter, finesse shot, but the shooting boost is not as significant, which is kind of pointless. These ones that give you like a +10, like those are the ones you should be looking into for like usability, right? To increase these cards quite a bit. There'll be some good options like these ones. Because again, there could be evolutions down the road where you can improve them further. I'm sure with this one, there's probably like a crazy chain evolution by now. Like there's this one, right? Intro to stat limits, Hey Jude, precision shooter, increases the card quite a bit, to be honest. So you could go down that route. I mean, you should go down the route with the sentimentals for sure, especially for cards that you don't think are going to get any cards. João Felix gets one, power surge, pitch predator, precision shooter. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty decent examples if you went down this route too, because it's all about like, you know, giving it to cards that don't have like the regular finesse shot and all that kind of stuff. That would definitely be a huge thing, right? But yeah, there'll definitely be a few choices for this one. Try to get it for cards that, you know, obviously don't have the regular finesse, but get a really big shooting boost. These ones I give, like I said, a +10 for shooting. Like it's a big deal, right? Like Dembélé is a +9. Or excuse me, a +11, which is huge, right? And for him, it would be very, very beneficial. Saint-Max, very beneficial as well, because his shooting is garbage, right? So that's a really big one. And then Leão, it's pretty significant too. A +7 for him is definitely significant as well. So can't really go wrong with those routes if you kind of went down that area. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. We're gonna go ahead and work on the speed boost now. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.